Hello everybody, thanks for joining me again. It's very cold this morning, so if I'm not talking very well, that's why. I'm on a desolate Dutch beach this morning at a place called IJmuiden, and I've probably murdered that. Now, as I say, always take your camera with you. I'm on a work trip and I've just stayed over on a Friday night, so I have a few hours on Saturday morning now just to have a look around the beach area here. And these old Second World War bunkers, part of Hitler's Atlantic Wall here. So I'm on the part of the coast where the river comes out from Amsterdam. Just up the, or down the coast is the F1 circuit at Vanguard. I think I've got that right as well. Anyway, not got long, so I thought I'd have a quick look around these now old ruins and let's see what we can find, shall we? Well, hello everybody. Before I go any further with the video, let me explain a little bit about the title. I wasn't actually going to put this video out at all. Filmed about 2 weeks ago, and on a quite desolate beach. I was, I don't know, not really happy with the photography. But in situations like that, you have to be creative. So I did persevere and I did take some photographs and a small amount of video. So I've had a couple of weeks to mull over the photographs, and I think after all it is worth me sharing the images and maybe explaining what I was thinking at the time, and hopefully you can all take something from it. So let's get back to the video and I'll explain as I go along. The bunkers are set a little bit back from the beach and amongst the dunes. I'm guessing they were here to defend the mouth of the river. Behind the bunkers is the industrial area. There's a ferry terminal. Take a ferry to Newcastle, I believe. And there's a huge steelworks the other side, belching out lots of acrid smoke. But this side of the river, it's quite quiet, if a little windy, and the hotel I've been staying in is just over there. So just because of the history alone, these bunkers are interesting. Part of Hitler's Atlantic Wall in the Second World War, and behind them there were 2 E-boat shelters which were heavily bombed leading up to D-Day. 53 tall boy earthquake bombs were dropped, and one of the shelters is still standing today. Now these shots work really nicely in black and white, and just leaving the graffiti in colour. And I preferred the letterbox or a 16:9. And the only thing I really was looking for compositional about these, which I'll talk about a little bit later, is just looking around the edges of the shot and making sure nothing is crossing over the borders. And I have left a little bit of space. Well, as I'm walking around these dunes, not really sure what I'm going to get. However, there's always a photo somewhere. Even the path winding around this little tree and a bunker in the background might make a shot. Let's give this a go. So I'm travelling really light. I've just got the Olympus EM10 Mark III and the Pocket 2 I'm filming with. So let's try a shot of this tree. So I thought I might have to actually try a panorama of several shots stitched together to make a composition of this, but I actually prefer this single shot. The path leads away nicely, and the tree above and the scrub on the bottom right seem to frame the bunker in the background. And with this, I thought these bunkers are all in a long line. The sand of the dune seems to lead you towards the far bunker, and the graffiti on this first one, there's a little bit of a feature in the foreground. I have cut out a larger block on the right hand side which you can't see. Now this one I think is a bit too square, a bit too blocky, even though it's a landscape shot. I was again trying to give an impression of the size of these bunkers, and out of all of these shots I've taken, I think this isn't quite right. There was a little bit of light. It was about mid-morning, but the sun was coming up very slowly in Holland, and again there's a little bit of sand in that path just leading you into the shot, and again the bunkers arranged in a row leading away towards the sun. I thought this looked really nice. And just to be abstract, there's this bin that has seen better days, lots of graffiti on it. Looks like someone set fire to it as well. But with little to shoot, you start to look for the more abstract images. And I just liked the way the yellow of the bin contrasted with the background. Anyway, I made it onto the beach, and as you can see it was really windy and bleak, so I started to get creative. So I just started with the most obvious shots. So there were these posts just placed along the beach. As you can see for miles, and it's pretty featureless, but they make a good composition if you get them in the right place in the shot. I didn't want to put any of them in the middle, so just off to the right, leading away into the distance, worked really nicely. So then I started looking for anything interesting on the beach itself, and mostly, as you know, you'll find lots of plastic and all sorts of things on the beach, and this was no exception. But with the wind blowing the sand, they were making some really nice sculptured shapes. So even this old piece of plastic matting had some appeal. And this old seagull feather with the wind blowing around it just made, I don't know, just a nice shot. This was the first image I saw on the beach actually, and I was trying to frame it different ways, but I think this square looks better with the feather in the bottom half of the shot, with the quill sort of leading you up to the top. Now with all of these, when I frame them, I'm giving myself a little bit of space around the image that I think I finally want. That gives you a little bit more room to crop in and just do some fine adjustments to the positioning, especially of this beer can, just getting it in the right place. And you can see in the top right, whatever that is inside the frame. Now individually these images are okay, but I thought making a triptych like this always can add a little bit more interest. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments below. So with the wind still blowing, I did find some slightly more interesting things. Not sure what this is. It looks like it might be the top of a large cotton reel, wooden cotton reel. Well, I call it a cotton reel. It probably had steel or something like that on, or rope. If you know what it is, let me know. But I did think it made an interesting shape on the beach. And then I really liked this shot, and so did Paul from West Country Wanderings. Thank you, Paul, for commenting on my Facebook page. Now, some really nice colourful shells, and again the wind is sculpted around the sand around them, but with the composition I've made sure I've looked at the edges and made sure there's a leading line from the bottom right up to the top left. So with the wind still blowing, I slowly made my way back to the hotel to pack up and leave. But I passed some of the old beachside buildings which were closed for the winter, and these this brickwork with these 3 holes in just caught my eye and thought they would make quite a nice image. Odd numbers like this work well. In black and white, the brickwork has some texture to it, and just putting the row of holes or windows on the bottom third just made a half decent image. Now there was a small mere behind the dunes, and with the sun still not very high in the sky, I decided to take one last image. I really didn't think this would work, but having just seen all those black and white images looking very bleak, I thought this nice warm picture of the reeds would finish the video nicely. So I was so disappointed with the images on the day, I didn't even bother to film an intro, so here I am. Now hopefully some of you found the video interesting and maybe even liked some of the images. If you did, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you all again soon. But for now, cheerio.